Hello everyone, this is Avia Manito. I'm Dana Beal's daughter. I am sending you a message from isolation in a hospital in Manhattan. Almost 2 weeks ago today, he was picked up by the State Patrol in Idaho, and he is now in the Gooding County Jail. He's awaiting his bail hearing tomorrow. We are hoping to have the bail reduced. Right now it's set at $250,000, which is really quite high. So we're hoping for a bail reduction. We'll know more tomorrow, and I'll be able to give more updates tomorrow on that. Right now he's working with a public defender, and at some point, once we raise enough funds, we may move to different defense. And then we do have another hearing later this week. Both things I'll update you on. About a week after the tragic events unfolded in Idaho, I came to the hospital. I had contracted RSV and pneumonia, a situation which was no doubt precipitated by the stress of learning that my elderly father had been picked up by the state troopers almost 2 weeks ago today. I've been here for about a week. I was hoping to be out by today, but it's going to be at least another night of isolation. However, that's just to say my participation would have been more active, and more probably would have happened had I not been so extremely ill for the past week. Those of you who know me personally know I do have a history of asthma. So although this might seem serious and I am suffering, I really don't want the focus to be on me, because it's really nothing compared to the suffering that my father is probably going through. Dana is a 77-year-old man of advanced age and poor health who has dedicated his life to the cause of overturning unjust drug laws. And once again, he finds himself a prisoner of the drug war. And I would like to see Dana's case dismissed on the grounds of his advanced age, ill health, and the fact that this is not illegal in most of the other states, the thing that he's been accused of. There are still other prisoners of the drug war in the United States who are in prison and who are still actively being arrested under antiquated drug laws, which no longer serve us as a society or reflect our values as a society. And as much as this is a personal issue for me, I want my father to be out of custody. It's also an issue that affects everyone in our country, and Dana would like for me to bring attention to that these laws are unjust, and this is something that he has spent his whole life of activism working on to overturn and repeal. And so, you know him, you know he is a very active political person. He is very outspoken and out loud about his beliefs, and so he is using this as an opportunity to draw attention to the fact that these draconian laws are still on the books, and they are still being executed in a way that really only serves to harm the most vulnerable amongst us, including my elderly dad. The fact that it's legal anywhere in this country, a large portion of that can be traced back to Dana, and we can thank him for the work that he's done throughout his lifetime. So we want this campaign to have two purposes: to, number one, of course, help get Dana out of custody and give him opportunity for a fair trial. In Dana's case, mandatory minimum sentence would be 5 years. He's 77. He has some health issues that are on the record, and he has others that are not on the record. And so a 5-year sentence for him could be a life sentence or a death sentence. So aside from the fact that the laws themselves are unjust, the application to him is completely unjust and unconstitutional. But it's also to raise attention and direct awareness to the fact that these laws are still on the books in certain states of the United States. It just proves that we still have a long way to go in this fight. It's not a foregone conclusion, sadly. These were the values that I was raised with as his daughter, and I believe in them. I agree with him. For those of you who don't know me, I have spent a lot of time living on the West Coast, and I've pursued different different things than Dana, but many of Dana's old supporters do know me and knew me in my youth and as a child. Know that I deeply, deeply love and care for my father, and I do not want to see him incarcerated in county or long term. He is just quite simply far too vulnerable to be in that position. But again, I just wanted to take the time to make a little video to let everyone know that we really, really deeply appreciate all of the support and engagement, and we do ask that you please, please, please spread the word. The more public support that Dana has, in the end, the better. And of course, that also serves the twofold goal of bringing attention to the fact that these draconian laws are still in the books, and that there are still states which have not aligned themselves with the forward momentum of the law in the direction of society's changing values towards plant medicines. That being said, it's also important to acknowledge historically Dana's role in bringing about the changes that were necessary for us to see the current psychedelic renaissance in mental health care. We would like to continue to see that move forward, but again, it has a twofold purpose. It's going to bring awareness to the fact that these laws are still in the books and that they need to change, because Dana's not the only one. We still have a country in which there are prisoners of the drug war incarcerated and separated from their families unnecessarily so. These are not violent criminals. I believe in medical freedom. I believe in bodily autonomy. I believe in freedom to live how you want to live. If you are not harming anyone, then you should not be harmed. These laws really only serve to harm the most vulnerable amongst us. So, as ever, Dana uses his personal life as a platform to promote the changes he'd like to see in society. So we do need to work to get him out. And then let's use that in the meantime also as a platform to draw attention to the fact that this is still an ongoing problem in the United States. It is not a foregone conclusion that we will have a complete repeal of prohibition, a complete abolishment of cannabis prohibition. So let's stay on top of that, because we're trying to change the course of history here. We don't want anyone to suffer. We don't want anyone to be a prisoner of the drug war, which is a classist war that only serves to fuel the prison industrial complex. I do believe in autonomy and states' rights, but it's time for all of the states to get in line with the larger ethos of the United States. It's not time for division. It's time for us to pull together as an American people and show the world that we do believe that these laws should be repealed or abolished. So I really want to just thank everyone for your continued engagement. Please like and share and spread the word, because a lot of people just don't know that this is still going on. Everyone is assuming that we now live in this society where this drug war is a thing of the past, but as this event shows more than anything, it is not. And we can't let go of this, because as we know, progressive laws can be overturned. And there is a movement which is increasingly conservative that, if they had their druthers, would find a way to repeal many of the progressive laws that we have enacted as a society in the past 10 to 15 years. There's been a lot of support and a lot of shares. There's been recently an excellent article published in Forbes. Do everything you can to draw awareness to this issue, because it is an important issue that affects more than just Dana, even though it's affecting us very personally, and I'm deeply saddened and alarmed by this. I don't want to never see my dad again. I moved back to New York City in order to be with him in his twilight years, essentially, and now he's in a county jail in Idaho, and I'm in the hospital in New York with RSV and pneumonia. So I would like for him to be out and I would like for these laws to be changed. So I would like to take this moment just to thank all of the supporters, to encourage continued contribution. All right, thank you for your time, and as always, we appreciate you. Please, like, follow, share, donate, engage, tell your neighbor, tell your friends, be on social media. But I urge people to contribute to the GoFundMe, because we still have quite a ways to go to raise that bail bond to get him out. All right, thank you all.